Julius Caesar, the 13th of July 100 BC, the 15th of March 44 BC, was a military general and statesman who played a critical role in the events that led to the demise of the Roman Republic and the rise of the Roman Empire. He was a brilliant military strategist and conqueror, having led successful campaigns in Gaul, Britain, and other parts of Europe. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe so you don't miss any information, and always stay connected to everything that happens around the world. In addition to his military prowess, Caesar was also a talented orator, writer, and politician. He was elected as consul in 59 BC, and later appointed as governor of the province of Gaul, modern-day France and Belgium. During his time in Gaul, Caesar launched several successful military campaigns, consolidating Roman power in the region. In 49 BC, Caesar returned to Rome and defied the orders of the Senate to disband his army. This action sparked a civil war, which Caesar ultimately won. He then went on to hold several high-ranking political offices, including dictator for life. Under Caesar's leadership, the Roman Republic was transformed into a monarchy, with Caesar as its king. However, his rule was short-lived. On the 15th of March 44 BC, Caesar was assassinated by a group of senators who were unhappy with his growing power and suspected him of seeking to become a monarch. The death of Caesar marked the end of the Roman Republic and the beginning of the Roman Empire. Caesar's impact on history was immense, and his legacy has been the subject of much debate and discussion. He was one of the most famous figures of the ancient world, and his life and career continue to be studied and celebrated to this day. Julius Caesar and Cleopatra's relationship was one of the most famous and scandalous in ancient history. Cleopatra was the last pharaoh of Egypt and one of the most powerful women of her time. She met Julius Caesar in 48 BC, when he was in Egypt after his defeat of the pharaoh's brother, Ptolemy XIII, in a civil war. Their relationship quickly became romantic, and Cleopatra bore Caesar a son, Caesarion. Caesar's support of Cleopatra and his disregard for Roman political norms caused a great deal of controversy in Rome, and some saw their relationship as a threat to the stability of the Roman Republic. Despite this, Caesar remained devoted to Cleopatra and even brought her to Rome with him, where she lived in his villa. After Caesar's assassination in 44 BC, Cleopatra returned to Egypt and became involved with his political rival, Mark Antony. The two became lovers and had several children together. Their relationship was marked by political intrigue, military battles, and personal drama, and it eventually led to the downfall of both of them. In 31 BC, Octavian, the future Emperor Augustus, defeated Mark Antony and Cleopatra in the Battle of Actium, effectively ending their reign over Egypt. Cleopatra is said to have committed suicide soon after, while Mark Antony took his own life. The story of Julius Caesar and Cleopatra remains one of the most well-known and enduring tales of ancient history, and it continues to captivate people to this day. Cleopatra was the last pharaoh of ancient Egypt and one of the most powerful women in world history. She was a member of the Ptolemaic dynasty, a family of Greek origin that ruled Egypt after the death of Alexander the Great. Cleopatra ruled as co-regent with her father, Ptolemy XII, and later with her two brothers, Ptolemy XIII and XIV, before becoming the sole ruler of Egypt. Cleopatra was known for her intelligence, political acumen, and her skills in diplomacy. She was fluent in several languages, including Egyptian, Greek, and Latin, and was known for her charm and beauty. Cleopatra's most famous relationships were with Julius Caesar and Mark Antony, both of whom were powerful Roman politicians. Her relationship with Caesar led to the birth of their son, Caesarion, and her relationship with Antony resulted in the birth of 3 children. Cleopatra was a major player in the power struggles of the Roman Republic and was a key figure in the eventual transition to the Roman Empire. Her death in 30 BC marked the end of the Ptolemaic dynasty and the beginning of the Roman Empire's rule over Egypt. Cleopatra's legacy has endured throughout the centuries, and she remains one of the most famous and intriguing figures of ancient history. Her life has been the subject of numerous books, plays, and films, and she continues to captivate people with her beauty, intelligence, and political prowess. Cleopatra made an appointment with Caesar to meet him and gave him a rug as a gift. According to the records of the time, when unrolling the rug, it broke with a surprise. Cleopatra herself was curled up in the middle of the rug. If you like stories, subscribe to the channel and leave a like to always receive video notifications. And to help the channel grow. Caesarion was the son of the Egyptian Queen Cleopatra and the Roman Emperor Julius Caesar. He was born in 47 BC in Alexandria, Egypt. After the death of Julius Caesar, Cleopatra became the lover and ally of Mark Antony, another powerful Roman general. However, their relationship ended in defeat against Octavian, later known as Augustus, at the Battle of Actium in 31 BC. Cleopatra and Antony both committed suicide, leaving Caesarion as the sole ruler of Egypt at the age of just 14. Caesarion's rule was brief, as Octavian soon declared him a threat to the stability of the Roman Empire and invaded Egypt. Caesarion was captured and executed, but legends surrounding his life persisted in the centuries that followed. Some tales claim that he was secretly spared and lived out his life in obscurity, while others suggest that he may have escaped to India or Ethiopia and continued to lead a resistance against Roman rule. Regardless of the truth of these legends, Caesarion remains an important figure in the history of the ancient world, as a symbol of the final days of the Ptolemaic dynasty in Egypt and the end of the Hellenistic era. I hope my explanation about the story was helpful. If you have any further questions or would like to discuss more about the topic, I'm here to assist. I would be happy to hear your comments and insights about this significant figure in ancient history.